Oh my word. Could literally sit here all day. I was actually going for it. I'm exhausted. I think that pushed us, that did. Right. So welcome to Bakewell. This is the start of a new bike camping adventure in the Derbyshire Dales. So we're currently at one of the car parks in Bakewell and we're just unloading, getting ready to ride. From here we're going to bike all the way to near Mamtor, and then there's a campsite near that, and then from there we're going to do a loop and basically come back tomorrow and end here in Bakewell car park. So this is what I've got loaded up on my bike. So I've got food in here, got more food here, camping gear here, can't remember what's in here, there's a few bits, pillow, and then in my backpack I've got clothes and tent and so on. I've kind of spread bits about everywhere, and then I thought I'd make use of my 360 camera, so I've mounted that to try and get some B-roll. This is the rest of the crew getting loaded. So this is how some of the other guys have packed. So essentially similar to mine. So they've got something on the back which basically is attached to the saddle bar, and then something on the handlebar. So we chose Bakewell because to be honest it just happened to be a good starting spot. I planned the route on an app called Commute, and basically I just picked Bakewell as the starting point because from Birmingham it was actually one of the closest points for this particular route. Bakewell, if you don't know, it's actually where that dessert, well, not dessert, but that cake was invented. So cherry Bakewells, Bakewell tarts, they're all from here. So doing a bit of a test ride in the car park, make sure everything's secure, everything's tight. And the one thing that you need to be aware of when going bikepacking is weight matters. So every kilogram that you add onto your bike or your backpack, basically you're going to pay for it on the ride to wherever you're going, because it's just going to make it that much more difficult. So pack light. His backpack came off completely. This is why you need to secure it like this. Tie everything around everything else. Go on, we gotta turn around because no through road for bikes. I mean, we could flip it over, but there might be more of these along the way. And this is. Are you sure this is locked? Yeah. Oh, there's a padlock. Can we not fit our bikes through there? You can, but there might be more of these up ahead, and you can't constantly be lifting like 20 kilos worth of bike and gear. Already 10 minutes into the journey, and he's pushing his bike up a hill. So after a bit of a detour and a few wrong turns, we're back on the trail now. Even though it's just at the very beginning, we barely left Bakewell. So we stopped, not on toilet break, but what I like to call a scenic break, because check this out. Of course, if there weren't grey clouds, it'd be much nicer, but you can't win it all. The weather is meant to improve about 12 o'clock and the time is about 10 AM, so 2 hours to go until blue skies. The good thing about starting in Bakewell is that you can take the popular Munsell Trail. The trail used to be an old railway line which has now been converted for cyclists and walkers to use. As you'll see from the next clip, I was genuinely amazed by what they had built through the mountains. What the heck? Oh my word! Just make sure you don't trip over anything. I love ringing my own bell, not like their one. Buy a proper bell! As well as tunnels, we encounter several bridges which had been built over valleys where rivers ran through. So we've got another tunnel, and It is the Munsell Trail. I guess it's on the Munsell Trail, but yeah, I was right. It was a former railway. So we actually started down here, Bakewell Station. And we worked our way up. We're right here at the moment, just at Cressbrook Tunnel, and then we're going to make our way all the way to Wydale, I believe, unless our commute route takes us off somewhere else. So we stopped on the Munsell Trail, and basically there's what looks like two bridges. So you got one here and one over there. Obviously both are disused, but the second one basically is just overgrown with wildflowers. So under us right now there's a river and there's a road, and it is actually quite steep, so yeah, don't chuck pebbles or anything. In fact there's a warning sign just further up that basically says don't throw any stones over, because if it hits a car or a person it's going to cause serious damage. Okay, so we stopped at the Millersdale station, I think it's called. Basically it looks like, well, it says, according to this, it was an important railway junction where Buxton passengers made connections with express trains running between London and Manchester. Oh, okay, so this explains the two railways that the two bridges that we've just come across over there. Oh yeah, look, you can see the disused platforms which are raised. It's crazy to think how back in the days, hundreds of years ago, well, about 100 years ago, they built these railway tracks essentially in the middle of nowhere, in between huge valleys. Stuff like this, ingenuity and pioneers like this, still amaze me to this day. It's crazy to think, how on earth did they build here without much in the way of power tools, and maybe a few sticks of dynamite, and that's about it. Just pure manpower. So we are at the end of Munsell Trail. So this is basically Blackwell Mill Cottages, and there is actually a cycle hire here. These guys are pushing their bikes up. And you have horse riders strolling up. Check out the view though. Did you say he's going to ride it?
You're going to ride it. You want me to ride this?
Another pit stop after pushing our bikes up the hill on what is quite a steep hill. And we've got some heroes that think they can ride up this steep hill. It doesn't look steep on camera, but it is. Go on, let's see you go for it.
Lift it up and pedal it. Oh, yeah, push it, yeah. Right up. It's fine.
You ready?
Push.
Go.
Push, yeah, push.
Push start, we need push start. Oh, he's
done it though.
Oh, he's actually going for it. This is what happens when you have an electric motor.
You know what? I love your chain brakes. And all that tension. Yeah, mate.
Fortunately, after every uphill, there's always a good downhill. So on these paths, you are sharing with other walkers and riders, horse riders, so you do have to give them way. Check out the scenery. It's a bit windy, but it's keeping me cool. I think the temperature is about 23 degrees. At this point, the paths were getting narrower and narrower. They were barely walkable, let alone rideable. The smell of manure in the air. Now, a lot of people find it obviously disgusting, which it is, of course, but I find it, I get feelings of nostalgia from times back in Bangladesh when I was there as a kid. There was manure in most villages, because obviously it's used for all sorts of things. But yeah, love it. Okay, so I think this is a good spot for lunch. It's almost 2 o'clock actually, so yeah, let's do lunch here and then we'll continue on from here. After lunch, we ploughed through several miles of downhills and open countryside with some spectacular scenery, especially as the sun had decided to come out. What the hell is that? Who dropped this? Look who dropped this. I'm gonna hide it, alright?
I'm gonna take it out of your toolkit again and then
Listen,
you'll see. Not fun. Even a kid might have more balls than us.
yeah, man.
I don't know how that's fun, man.
Yeah, man, that was lovely. Like riding up and down with a motorbike up and down these. I was gripping that handlebar tight, like, so I didn't lose any grip. That was good though. That was a nice bit of rocky downhill. It's very rare that we get to do proper mountain biking like that. What the heck? Who's meant to climb up all the way there? Trust me, it's deeper in real life than what this video shows. I think that's the last hill before the one of the peaks here called Mamto, and then it's downhill to the campsite. Let's see how much of it I can cycle up. Probably isn't going to be much. Can't believe I just did that hill non-stop as well. There's me thinking, you know what, I'll just do what I can. And bit by bit, I'll tell you actually, you know what, let's see how far I can get. Oh, and right towards the end, basically I had to just keep pushing myself bit by bit. Now I'm at the top of the hill. This particular hill, it's about a mile down and a steep incline of about, I don't know, 30 degrees. That is steepest probably. It's known as the Beast. I guess it's a well-deserved name, but I've conquered the Beast. Yeah, look at this amazing scenery. Check this out. Some of the scenery out here is just, it's like Disney speeches sometimes. Okay, so I've decided to leave the bike and come on foot up here. So I've left my bike with those guys right down there. On my way up to the peak that is known as Mamto. And just realised I could have left my helmet and my bag down by my bike. I made it easier for myself. But no, I guess I'll have to do it the hard way. I thought that was the peak. It's not. It's actually this. I don't know why Google Maps says it's going to take 10 minutes from where it was. It's taking less than 5 to walk up here. After reaching the top of Mamto, it was a few miles of awesome downhills all the way to the campsite. We are finally at the campsite. What time is it now? It's 15 to 6, so it's good progress actually. Did about 25-ish miles and I got to walk to Mamto. So all in all, nice day. Alright, let's set up this tent. So this is what dinner. Oh, spoiling too much. Shit. It's a bit too much. So this is my dinner cooking. So I've got a OEX jet style boil thing. So the gas canister at the bottom, and then this packs up into a nice neat little package. Also got the key ingredient, tuna, mix a bit of that and perfect. Final cup of tea for bedtime and before this hay fever kills me. See you tomorrow. Just woke up. The sleep itself was not good, mainly for me because my feet were cold and normally I get a hot water bottle which I forgot, and basically my feet were cold all night and I just kept on tossing and turning, and my pillow wasn't great either, so I need to get that replaced before the next trip. But yeah, if you do come, get whatever makes sleep easy for you. So just in the process of packing up, and most of the time you'll find your kit, at least the parts of the tent that touch the ground, wet because of the moisture from the grass. So basically you want to dry this before you put it away, and I guess the most easiest way is just to kind of put it on top of your tent, spread it out. Last thing you want to do is actually spread it out on the grass itself, because it's just going to get more wet. And if you've got maybe a piece of cloth that you're not going to use again, then you can use that. Gonna fill up all these water bottles before we head out, so don't make the same mistake I did when I'm at Isle of Wight. But if you've seen my Isle of Wight video, I ran out of water probably about 2/3 of the way through. It locked and loaded. We've got water, more water, and then some more water. Well, yesterday we did about 25 miles from Bakewell to here, which is the Queen Acres campsite near Mamtor, and basically we've got to go back around now all the way back to Bakewell, but in a kind of a clockwise loop.
No motor vehicles though, that's it.
What started out as a fairly wide path soon narrowed down to this, with branches battering us and our bikes. We've got this little stream going across, so we've got to cross that. I think it's doable.
The rock might be slippery.
Just to give you an idea of the steepness. Even though pushing it is difficult, it's worth it when you're looking at this and pushing. And especially when the soundtrack is the peace and quiet and the birds of the forest. Yep, you get slow puncher. So I might have a slow puncher, but we'll need to test it, ride it for a bit and see if it goes down again. If it does, luckily I've got a spare in YouTube, so we need to replace it. We've just come down that downhill route, which was nice, only to find this is a bit of a dead end, and now we have to go back up that route. Looks like we'll be pushing a bit more.
Oh my word. I got twisted up in a bit of a twig.
Riding through the dense forests were enjoyable, but the downhills through the trees made it even more enjoyable. What wasn't enjoyable was coming across rivers of mud that I had to essentially carry my bike over, as I didn't want mud getting on my clothes. I didn't really mind it on my bike, but it's not pleasant when it's on your clothes and you have a few hours journey back home at the end of this. So this is Lady Bower Reservoir. I could literally sit here all day and just stare at this. Wow. This is the Derbyshire Dam. Basically, you've got these, what looks like a portal into another world, but essentially they're just spillovers. So when the water gets too high, basically around there, it just spills over, and then I think it just goes on to basically behind the dam. This is what the other side of the dam looks like. So it looks like it is used for power generation as well as providing drinking water. So I've actually been here before, just for like a day trip. So I did a full loop with my bike around the Derbyshire Reservoir. It's definitely well worth coming out for a day trip, especially if you live nearby. So if you're around the Midlands area or around Manchester area, it's easy enough to get to. And when the weather's good, it's a bit grey now, but last time I came, the weather was like spot on, blue skies. But yeah, it's definitely well worth it. You'll see a lot of hikers, runners, people with their dogs just come out here for a day. There is a cafe nearby somewhere. Yeah, if you're not going to do like camping or anything, just come out here just for a nice little stroll. Looks like we've got a confirmed puncture. This is why you need to come prepared with a spare inner tube, which I've done, fortunately. I mean, you can repair it, but it's a lot quicker and easier just to swap it out, throw the other one away, and onwards. That's one fixed tyre, and we are ready to go. Or maybe we'll have a bit of lunch since we find a good spot. Another bit of tuna, lunch is served. Okay, tyre fixed, lunch eaten, let's go. Unfortunately, sometimes roads are unavoidable, but if you can pre-plan, plan as much away from these roads as you can, because some of the drivers are knobs. Bloody cars and motorbikes, it's speeding so much on here. Such knobs. I love this open countryside. You get knobs like that that spoil it. Now this is more like it. When there's a proper footpath. Wow. Check out this reservoir. So apparently this is the Riverlin Dams, and besides the dam, or on the other side of the dam. Okay, so this is where the Riverlin River starts. Basically, sun's beaming down on me. I don't know if you can see, but oh my word, is it hot now? It looks like some kind of stepping stone by the looks of it. I mean, it's disgusting water, but it's a bit of a feature. It's a nice stopping off point. But let's get back on the road. We've still got quite a bit to go. Sunshine just brings out the best of the English countryside. What the hell is that? It's a bit of a random pole in the middle of nowhere. Stanage pole. And it's basically a boundary between Hathersage, Sheffield and Northumbria on the other side, I believe. Yeah, it's literally in the middle of nowhere. Like, this is practically in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, there's someone that still lives here. Just there, there's a house. They've got solar panels, so they might be literally completely off-grid. What the hell? You okay? The risk we take to get that perfect picture. This is like bone-shattering paths, but still fun. This is one of the problems. You've got so much beautiful scenery like this. You keep stopping and it continuously delays the journey. Up there. We were just up there not too long ago. Oh my word, check that out. That looks something. Amazing. Is anyone else getting like Easter Island statue vibes from those cliff faces? Reminds me of those Easter Island statues. As well as rock climbing, you've got someone doing paragliding here. People up north are adventurous. I think we need to kind of hurry it back now because we've already lost one person. His leg cramped up, so then he ended up ordering an Uber back to the Bakewell car park. So yeah, I think let's just head on over as fast as possible back to the car park where we originally started. Another scenic stop, but we really must get going. Got 10 miles to go and we're hungry and thirsty. But oh my word, that scenery, look at that. I think this is the home straight. Hopefully this is the end. According to Google Maps, there's about 3 miles left and it should be all downhill. Can't wait. So we're back on the Monsell Trail, the trail where we first started from, and that's going to lead us all the way back to the car park, hopefully. The great thing about the Monsell Trail is there's no traffic, there's no people even, and it's all flat because it used to be a former railway, so they needed it to be flat. So it's all level. Oh, exactly what I need right now. Finally here. Made it. Oh, so shattered. Just gonna chuck everything off, check it in the boot because I really can't be bothered. I'm exhausted. I think that pushed us, that did. But to be honest, that's what we want. We want something like this to push us. And what's the point if it doesn't, you know, make you sweat? So yeah, I guess it's not for everyone, but if you do happen to come down to the Derbyshire Dales, do give it a try. You can go on the Monsell Trail, so they do cycle hire there. And it's about 8 miles or so, the route, so it's actually decent. It's all flat, you know, it's all pedestrian, so there's no knobhead drivers. And if you want to venture further out, then go and visit Derwent Valley, where we saw the Lady Bower Reservoir. The two main tips I'd give you is that make sure you take enough food and water. If you don't take enough, then at least plan some stops at places that have actual shops, because there is absolutely nothing out there. It's like you're in the wilderness essentially. You're not going to find a Tesco, you'll barely find a cafe. So we struggled. So take everything you need on your bike, otherwise just plan some stops wherever you're going. And the other thing was, if you get a puncture, then basically take what you need to repair that. I just simply took a replacement inner tube because it's far easier just to swap it out and then just carry on really. So yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed watching that. Until next time.